This entitled mother demands to see the manager just because this restaurant doesn't have her special item on the menu. What item does she demand? And what threats does this Karen make to the manager? Happy birthday if today's your birthday, and on with the revamped show. Before the pandemic, I worked in a dine-in movie theater. Like, waiters come to your seat and take your order and bring you cocktails and food, menus and full meals sort of thing. We had a full bar out front of the lobby instead of a concession stand too. We still had popcorn and candy though. Mind you, while the food is decent, it's just standard chain fare and most of it comes frozen. I've done everything in that building except for cooking and managing. At the point in time of this story, I was a bartender. Our menu had been mostly the same for the first 6 or so years of this particular chain being open. Typical menu, burgers and pizza, and chicken tenders and salads. Suddenly, corporate stupidly decided to completely change it. We had new desserts and completely tossed our old ones. New names for all our burgers, got rid of our homemade pizza dough and a lot of pizza favorites, etc. But the biggest change was that they eradicated the chicken tenders and the kids menu completely. Now kids had to order adult-sized entrees, which we aren't exactly a kid-friendly theater anyway. Anyone under 18 has to be with a parent, more or less at all times, and babies under 3 are just flat out not allowed in the building, because we are, legally speaking, a bar. And the tendies were replaced with boneless wing bites. You get 8 or 12 of these measly little balls of breaded chicken that can be naked or tossed in sauce with fries or a salad. Naturally, some customers were frustrated, but hey, corporate decision. I can't change it. Anyway, as a bartender during the week, I was in charge of selling tickets and handing out menus. During the weekdays, we rarely had a ticket seller on duty out front, so people are supposed to just walk in and purchase from me. A woman, who we will call Karen, K for short, and her 15 or so year old son, who we'll call Billy or B for short, come in. I know I've seen them in before, so they purchase tickets and K asks for a food and cocktail menu. I assented and launched into the little spiel management told me to give as I handed out the new menus. No problem. Just to let you know, our menu has changed as of a few days ago. There are some awesome new items, but unfortunately some of our old items have been replaced.
Oh, well that's okay, as long as I can still get chicken tenders. My son and I love them. That's the only reason we come here instead of the theater we actually live beside.
She begins to flip through the menu, me cringing. Well, actually, the tenders are one of the items that have been replaced. We now have boneless wing bites.
What do you mean? You can't take off the tenders?
Mom, be cool. We can just try the bites.
They better be as good as the tenders.
She's grumbling as she stalks towards their assigned theater, and her son gives me an apologetic glance as he follows behind her. They're the only people who end up in that theater. Again, weekday. Slow. So when the ticket comes through 10 minutes into the movie for a drink and that one, I know it's hers. To make it up to her that the tenders are gone, I make her drink look extra nice, garnished all pretty, and the color, it was a blue raspberry spiked lemonade, was fantastic. I tried super hard as a newbie bartender to make this thing epic. My manager took a picture of it when I was done. I was darn proud of that drink. I'm friends with her waiter too, so I tell the waiter to make sure the food comes out perfect. I just want to avoid complaint at this point and give a really good experience since the only reason they came here was for the food, specifically the tenders that they both loved so much. About 20 minutes into the movie, 10 minutes after the drink, I see her food come past and go into the theater. Not even 5 minutes later, this woman comes storming out with a plate in one hand, drink in the other, and right up to where I am making the drinks at the bar. She's fuming. Her son is on her tail and begging her to calm down. My little anxious heart jumps into my throat and then falls out my butt. I hate angry customers. She speaks before I can even open my mouth.
Manager, now!
Yes, ma'am. I walk around the bar into the manager's office and knock on their door. As I'm waiting, I glance over my shoulder and see her overturn her plate onto my drink station. She had gotten the boneless bites tossed in sauce, so now the area and mats on which I mix all cocktails is covered, and I mean covered, in spicy barbecue sauce and wings and fries. She pours out her perfect drink on top of it right as the manager is coming out of the office. My manager is awesome. We'll call her Violet, V for short. She doesn't even look at me, just runs straight to the woman. I follow behind, but keep a bit of distance. Ma'am, what seems to be the problem here? Nothing, Mom and I are just leaving. Everything's okay.
Shut up. That stupid bartender told me that the tenders are gone and I had to order freaking boneless wings instead. I ordered them and they're gross. And she's so incompetent that she can't even make a darn mixed drink right. This drink is gross. And your standards for good freaking food have dropped. I want to speak to corporate.
Well, here's the hotline number for corporate, but my bartender did make the drink correctly. I'm sorry it wasn't to your standards. Clearly, as you've smushed all of it onto my bar.
Well, I just figure since this is her,
points to me,
freaking fault, she can clean it up.
Because I'm somehow at fault for the entire menu change countrywide. Sorry, I get paid $8 an hour. Not my deal. The menu change was a corporate decision. My bartender didn't take the tenders off and she made that drink perfectly. I'm sorry you're this upset, and I'll make sure corporate is aware.
I'm leaving a Yelp review too. I'm never freaking coming back here. Everyone will know not to come here anymore. My son is so disgusted with your food.
Actually, I thought it was good, Mom. Please, it isn't that bad.
Shut up. It's not good. You should be shut down. You don't care about your customers. I will never ever come back here.
Frick you! She's shrieking at this point. She reaches into her mess and picks up one of the bar mats that she smeared food and liquor into and chucks it at me before running out of the store. Luckily, I dodged the mat, but food and drink dropped onto me and the floor too now. Her son, bless this poor kid, grabs a roll of napkins off the nearest rack. We have napkins and condiments in racks on the bar, and starts trying to clean it up. He's crying quietly at this point. I don't blame him. I was on the brink of tears myself. This would have been so embarrassing to be that woman's kid in this situation. I get down next to him and gently take the napkin from him, telling him it's okay, I got it. My manager gave him 2 free tickets and said if him and someone older wanted to come see movies, she'd take care of his food too next time. But his mum wasn't welcome back. We escorted him to the door where his mum had pulled up in her car and was slamming on the horn to get him to hurry up. They left. I cleaned it up and spent the rest of the day smelling like chicken and spiked lemonade. Sticky and grumpy. Karen has tried to come back a few times, shockingly. Billy still shows up with his dad or older brother and is always the absolute sweetest kid to me and the waitstaff. But the woman has shown up alone and I always alert Violet when she appears, and she's always told to leave. Shockingly, she never throws a fit, just walks out. We never heard from corporate about her either. We still don't have chicken tenders. I feel like chicken tenders are such a meme because they are so easy to eat, but at the same time they're a pretty basic food for your palate. So the fact you get so passionate about chicken tenders, which you could just get frozen and heat up yourself at home, is just so ridiculous. I don't know what's up with movie food always being so overpriced as well. I remember ordering a pizza for one at one of those places. It was like $20, and as I was waiting for the movie, I could look into the kitchen as they'd open the door, and the freezer was open, and there were just these stacks of frozen pizzas, and I was like, I'm paying $20 for a frozen pizza. You know, it wasn't that bad. It's just the principle of the thing. Hey guys, I wanted to tell you one of my newest Entitled Parents stories. Let's go. Also, not advertising the motorcycle. Bit of context, I currently own a 2020 0FXS motorcycle. The motorcycle has always grasped the attention of families, particularly ones with kids. This family though was by far the weirdest and most spoiled family I have ever encountered. So this happened in late March when I went to Target to go get some monsters for the long isolation ahead. Maybe even some Pepsi too. Also, let me remind you that this is when the virus started to become popular and hit every single state in America. So getting a pretty good parking spot was essential to me. I found the great parking spot that was right next to Target. I turn off my engine engine and grab my wallet out of my backpack. I look around to see the other people frantically trying to get as much toilet paper as they can. I just watched for the past 5 minutes of so-called mature adults stealing each other's groceries. I laugh it off and get off the motorcycle. Then I look at the car next to me, which was a big mistake. I see a hyperactive crying kid in the back seat of the car. Then the most horrifying of all, a Karen. Then a 19-year-old in the front who looked like she wanted to get out. She also looked pretty chill too. I turn around thinking that I'm probably in for the worst and get off my motorcycle. Then I hear the doors of the car open and I also hear the crying kid stop crying. I did what I thought was the dumbest possible thing to do at the moment and turn around to see the kid, Chick, and Karen staring at my motorcycle. I thought to go back and pretend I forgot something from the glove compartment of my Zero, which was, we're going to call the motorcycle Zero since calling it a motorcycle is boring and I'm not going to say its full name. Though in the dialogue, it will sometimes be called 2020 Zero FXS, so that they come to realize what they came here to do. The family stopped looking at the Zero and started looking at me. I took my key from my pocket and unlocked the glove compartment and grabbed my insurance and license that I have in a Ziploc bag and put it into my backpack. Then the kid asked me the question that started the whole reason for this story. Cast as follows: OP, you know me, EM, the Karen, EK, spoiled anti-vaxxed kid, C, chick who is like me.
I have a question to ask you, sir.
Sure, hit me. EK looked confused at what I said. It means tell me what the question is, bro.
Oh, okay. My sister said that this is a 2020 Zero FXS, though I think it's a 2009 Yamaha R1. Which one of us is right?
I laughed at how different those two different motorcycles are inside. I don't know how or where he got 2009 Yamaha R1. It also literally said FXS on the side. So this is what I replied with. Well, your sister is right. This is a 2020 Zero FXS. This is what a 2009 Yamaha R1 looks like. Showing him a picture of my friend's Yamaha.
Oh, okay. Do you mind if I touch your motorcycle?
It's kind of rude to be touching someone's motorcycle at this time. Your sister is right once more. I can't allow you to touch my motorcycle because 1, I don't know if you are vaccinated, and 2, I don't know if you have the virus.
How dare you assume that my child is sick? He may be anti-vaxxed, but he isn't sick.
Ma'am, it's imperative.
Don't call me ma'am. It makes me feel old.
Okay, what should I call you then? EM thinking about it.
Never mind.
Okay, you should get your child vaccinated. The virus can kill him if he isn't vaccinated. In truth, there is a high chance it can, but I have no idea though.
No, I will not let some doctors poison my son with vile torture devices. Anyways, that is not what we are here for. We want to buy your Zero.
Okay, 1, I only take cash. 2, you don't have $11,000 on you. 3, unless you are buying the motorcycle for your daughter, who is 19, your son can't ride your motorcycle.
I know that. The Zero is for my son's 18th birthday. C can't ride a motorcycle no matter how much she likes them. She is a girl, and girls do not ride motorcycles.
I was furious when she said that. No matter the race or gender, we all get and deserve the same respect on the road. OP holding anger in. EM, that is unfair to your daughter to say, and a stereotype to you and the people you hang out with.
Well, I'm not wrong. If they ride motorcycles, they were abandoned as a child.
You said what?
I said that any woman who rides motorcycles were abandoned at childhood.
My sister is a rider and was not abandoned by my parents. They supported her in following her dream of riding. Now she's riding with a group in Cali. Please stop being rude to him.
Don't tell me what I can and can't do, see? Mommy, I want the motorcycle.
What is it with entitled kids thinking that they can own whatever they like, even if it already belongs to somebody else? Submit your story to be read on the channel at VoiceyHereStories@gmail.com and join our Voicey veteran community at r/VoiceyHere. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell to never miss an episode. Alright, Voicey veterans, I'll see you in the next one.